For the day, Aditya Challapally from Microsoft, who will talk to us about uh, agentic AI and how it interacts at the edge. And then after that, we'll give you a brief preview into things that we are actually building on top of all the presentations that you're seeing. So it's not just papers that the NANDA team is writing, but we are also building cool tools and applications on top of it. So yeah, over to you, Aditya.
Hey, thanks, Pradeep. Could you
Yeah,
share about?
absolutely.
I
Just
can share as well, but
yeah,
I
just
just
let me know. Just guide me through the slides.
yeah. So you can just go to the next slide. So I'll go through this really quickly. So currently, uh, when we think about AI agents, and I'll go through this extremely quickly, but uh, currently when we think of AI agents, we think of them in terms of software, like interacting with web apps, etc. But the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to start seeing hardware take over significantly. So we're going to see personal robots. We're already seeing warehouse robots, autonomous cars, all these folks, autonomous drones. And if you go to the next slide, this will just continue to accelerate. So this is mirroring internet growth. So right now, if you see in 2023, we had a few instances of AI applications, like the magnitude was 1 to 10 relatively. And this chart that you see here maps the growth of the number of nodes connected to the internet over the course of 5 years. And so this would be the same map to the number of agents. So in 2025, we started piloting some more agents and we started rolling out some autonomous cars. So Waymo now has fully approved autonomous cars across the Bay Area. In 2027, so in 2 years, we'll see personal robots roll out. So right now we're just piloting them in a few homes in San Francisco and MIT, but we'll see them roll out even farther. And in 5 years from now, we'll see a rollout completely of autonomous drones, cars, and robots. So in just 5 years, we really do predict that there'll be a significant more, larger number of edge devices. So next slide. And the connectivity between these becomes incredibly difficult. So in 2025, maybe you just have two software agents connecting with each other. In 2027, maybe a few more with edge devices. In 2030, with approximately 10 billion devices at minimum, if not 100 billion, we will have to figure out a way to connect all of these and have them trust each other. So an example of this, and go to the next slide, is, how do billions of robots and drones, etc., trust each other? Next slide. And so, because you need that level of trust, because if there's a software, there's just like a 404 page, but if a hardware results in people's lives getting lost and severe damage to people's property and lives. Next slide. And so the way people typically have solved this in the past is via registry. So humans have IDs and have registries. You have social security numbers to trust each other. Cars have license plates. Websites have SSL certificates and DNS registries, obviously. And AI agents have nothing. So that would mean that, if I was a personal robot and I went to another personal robot, how would I know that this personal robot is acting on behalf of somebody else? How do I know this drone is acting on your behalf? How do I know it has the right permissions? Currently, we don't have any of that. Next, please. And so it goes back to the original question of how do you trust each other? Like, how do you establish this level of trust? Next. And that's where the NANDA registry comes in. And this is incredibly important for edge agents, for agents that run on the edge, especially because they don't, and by definition, they don't have a central registry themselves that run like it's not like all robots have a central registry or all drones have a central registry or even all autonomous cars have a central registry. They do have driver's licenses, but it doesn't necessarily work in terms of working with other agents or working with necessarily autonomous vehicles. And so that's what the Nanda registry solves. And specifically we can apply this to Edge AI in the next few slides next. And so what it means for edge AI and robotics is that you have billions of edge AI agents that need to authenticate each other in milliseconds, verify their others' capabilities, make those trust decisions, and scale globally. Essentially, what humans do right now with driver's licenses, social security numbers, all these things, we have to do with edge robotics and edge devices and edge drones and even things like laptops and phones. Once we have ML models running locally. Next. And so there's two ways to do this. The first one is a federated registry where, or Oh, it should a registry, actually, but a registry with 7 to 12 trusted organizations that run the registry, and then the option B is a pure P2P network that uses things like a gossip network, like we know from Bitcoin and all these in BitTorrent. And what Nanda is a great hybrid of those two, which is a central registry for governance and a P2P mesh for operations. Next slide. And so we would do the cold path in the ideal world would be a central registry where you have in this for high stakes operations, you have root certificate authorities, all these things, and there's a hot path for P2P mesh, which is more for frequent work. Next slide. And so uh I won't go through all of the details here, and you can check it out in the paper as I know we're over time. But we won't go through all the technical details, so next slide. Pradyumna. Next slide as well. We won't go through all of the bucket details. And the next slide, and then the last slide is how we're gonna roll this out specifically for Edge AI, where we'll start with a foundation that builds trust through a centralized registry like Nanda, and slowly, like within the Nanda framework, do a hybrid deployment via P2P layers or delegating to certain local registries. And then in phase three, you have a complete decentralized registry, and Nanda and the main central registry becomes emergency only. Wonderful. That's it.
Awesome. Oops, sorry. Thank you so much, Aditya. That was a great presentation. Sorry for the rush that you had to put on, but I think it was very, very insightful. And I think edge devices and edge AI is going to be one of the spaces that will truly lead to a boom in the number of agents in the future. And yeah, very, very exciting to see how this will scale up moving forward. Awesome. So thank you so much, folks, for everyone who's stayed on until now and listened through all the presentations. We have one last piece today before we end, which is the demo itself. So it's not just about writing all these academic papers that we have, which the team over here has done an incredible job at, but we are also building tools, applications and services on top of this. So let me clean up my desktop very quickly, and then I'm going to do a very